Hello, fair listeners, to a show of whimsy, thrills, and irreverence. We are so glad you're here, but please note that the following show will reveal every secret there is to hold, language you may find offensive, and things not suitable for the faint of heart. For once you enter this world of fantasy, you have reached the point of no return.
I'm just trying to appreciate your last night as a human.
Well, it's not my last night.
I thought you...
Didn't really want to spend my honeymoon writhing in pain.
What was the point? It's not like you're gonna have a real honeymoon with him anyway.
It's gonna be as real as anyone else's.
That's a sick joke. You are joking. What, while you're still human? You can't be serious, Bella. Tell me you're not that stupid.
I mean, it's really none of your business.
No, you can't do this.
Jake.
Listen to me, Bella. Let me go!
Jacob, calm down, all
Are
right?
you out of your mind? Huh? You'll kill her!
Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Monster Madness, a podcast dedicated to all sorts of creatures, features, and beyond. I'm Erica, and we are officially at the beginning of the end. And no one is more thrilled about it than Matt and Dan. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
I think I'm more excited than Dan. He has watched these movies a dozen times. He told me he watches them when you're not even around.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He's a big twihard.
Yep.
Just saying. I don't really like that there's this like lie going around on the internet that
Go Vittori.
you two don't like the Twilight films because you are some of the biggest fans. Anyway, before we get into this round of the Twilight Saga, the plugs. You can find Monster Madness on pretty much every social media platform: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Slasher, TikTok, and anything else you can think of. You can find Matt occasionally playing video games over on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Monster Madness Pod. We also have a Discord channel for our community that we would love for you to join. If you'd like to support our show, there are numerous ways you can do that. You can become a monthly Patreon for as little as $2 a month. You can join our coffee website for a one-time donation. Or if you'd like some Monster Madness merch, you can head on over to tpublic.com and peruse our store. All the links will be in the show notes.
When are we going to start our OnlyFans?
I'm already there.
I mean, as
I
I
have
had fucking
so much
ask
money.
yourself.
So much money.
We just watch movies with people.
We just watch movies.
You may find this hard to believe, but there are OnlyFans pages where people don't just show their buttholes.
I don't believe that.
100%.
Because I run one.
Mine's all feet, all day.
All freckles, all day.
Call it Tootsie's Tuesdays.
Ew.
Just freckles. Just showing freckles.
Yep.
All right, let's do this. We are discussing the 2011 film Breaking Dawn, Part 1.
Hello? I'd like to propose a toast to my new sister. Bella, I hope you've gotten enough sleep these last 18 years, because you won't be getting any more for a while.
Well, Bella was just like everybody else, totally mesmerized by Edward, or the hair, as I call him. And then, suddenly, Edward is all about Bella, even though she's not the captain of the volleyball team. I'm just kidding. Or the president of the student council.
Edward will be a good husband. I know this because I'm a cop. I know things. Like how to hunt somebody to the ends of the earth.
Now that you're my sister, you'll have to get over your aversion to fashion.
And I know how to use a gun.
I do want to give a quick shout out to our friend Ice. Ice, if you're listening.
Ice, baby.
Ding, 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 ding. As you can see, my friend, Matt thought he was out, but I pulled him back in, similar to The Godfather. He's here. We're doing these movies. Mainly for you, my friend. I just want you to know. Thinking of you. So, the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1 came out in 2011. It's rated PG-13 and it runs for 1 hour and 57 minutes. It has all the same actors from the first one, the second one, the third one, and here we are again. I'm trying to see if there's actually any additional people that I need to mention. No, none that's really important, to be honest with you. There are a few new characters that show their faces, but I can guarantee you've never seen them in anything else. This was directed by Bill Condon, and it was written by Melissa Rosenberg and Stephenie Myers. This film has 2 taglines: "Forever is only the beginning," and finally, "The worldwide phenomena continues." Matt, what's the budget?
Dan, let's play your favorite game.
60 million.
Higher. This one actually reaches triple digits. Lower.
It's 125.
127.
Oh, damn.
Yep. Box office was 712.2.
What? What was it?
The box office 712.2.
Oh,
Shit.
damn.
Somebody's living large.
I know.
I think I ended up at one point looking to see what a lot of these made in comparison to the last, and it tends to cap off around 700 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who collects the most? I wonder. Like when all that, like, is there somebody that always gets a cut?
Well, I mean, you have to think that money is going to what it's grossing is going back into like everything that they spent.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and you don't know what the contracts for the actors are. So, like, if you take something like Star Wars, for instance, let's say, where George Lucas literally said to the trio, like George Lucas, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, he's like, "I own your likeness," and he made a bajillion dollars off of their faces, like shampoos, fucking action figures, yada yada yada, because that was like the biggest, like the start of like franchising beyond a film. And with like Twilight, you have book bags, T-shirts, dolls, like
Fangs.
literally everything you could think of. They franchised this as well. Who's to say that they didn't have in their contracts, like, if you're going to use my likeness on a notebook, I'm getting 10 cents on the dollar of that.
Do you remember all the Valentine's Day cards?
What are you talking about?
Like the Twilight ones.
Yeah, you could buy like the box of Valentine's Day cards.
Yeah.
Like you go to the store and they have like the branded ones. I do remember seeing those around.
Yeah.
I remember that because I remember my brother Charles was like still like doing Valentine's Day. And
Oh, what, like grade school?
Yeah, I remember him having that stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I would not shock me.
Did you ever hear the story about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Twins? I can't remember if it was Twins or Junior. It was one of those two movies, though. They weren't sure it was going to make a lot of money, so they let him take a percentage of the gross instead of a flat fee. And he ended up making like fucking 25 times what he would have made if they would have just paid him a flat fee because the movie did so well. Yeah.
A lot of people have like, this is obviously not Breaking Dawn related, but speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I actually heard an interview that Jamie Lee Curtis did a few years ago, and I found out one of the coolest things about him.
Arnold?
Yeah, because they starred together in True Lies, which is one of the greatest films of fucking all time. It actually makes me want to start a like action movie podcast with you guys, but we're not going to do that because I don't have time. But True Lies.
You're mad, dude. Arnold all day.
Come on, do it.
Listen to me. Listen to me now.
Oh my God, that's so good. So she was talking about, because like this guy wanted to do like a word association with her. He's like, I'm going to say a word and you say the first thing that pops into your mind. And she broke script like on it a lot. And he was like, okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger. She's like, oh, okay, I have a story about him. She's like, when we did True Lies, we finished, filming in August and it was coming out on this date, blah, 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 or whatever. She's like, James Cameron called me on the phone and said to me, like, hey, Jamie, I just watched the movie again. And this is actually like a domestic partnership. This whole film is like a domestic drama action film. So I've just got off the horn with Arnold. He's on the call with us. And I asked him if it was okay if I put your name next to his on the sheet. Like on the poster, it says like Schwarzenegger, Curtis in True Lies, which I actually never saw a poster that said that. But like, I guess maybe in the title sequence, it does that. Like, because I don't know how it all works. Because like sometimes you'll see a movie and it says like starring Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson with Taylor Lautner. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand how they.
So it in the I think this came out in the 94. So in the 90s, all the movie posters had like the block of text at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and this says, you know, when he said "I do," he never said what he did. Schwarzenegger, True Lies, James Cameron film, and then the block of text, 20th Century Fox presents a light whatever entertainment, James Cameron, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
the first two names that are said, but also who's gonna sit and fucking read all that? But it still says Schwarzenegger, True Lies. And
Yeah.
then her name is down there.
So like I don't know how much water this holds, but to her, she kind of like commended him. She's like, you don't understand how much that spot is coveted by some people, and the fact that without hesitation, he was like, absolutely. And they're still like friends, and I love that because I love that movie so much. Oh God, I need a True Lies too in my life. But
I just watched it not that long ago. Well,
I
they're
know.
making that dumb fucking TV show.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that. We're not even going to give that airtime. Cut. So, enough Schwarzenegger talk. Let's get back to that chopper. That was a fucking funny joke, and you coughed through it. You're fired. All right, so here's the plot of Breaking Dawn, Part 1. I have some notes about this. Several months after the events of the previous film, Bella Swan and Edward Cullen are happily getting married. During the reception, Jacob Black, who had left town upon receiving an invitation to the wedding, returns, much to Bella's delight. They share a dance in the woods, where Bella shares that she and Edward plan to consummate their marriage on their honeymoon while she is still human. Jacob becomes furious, knowing that such an act could kill her. Hey, Dan. If when we were getting married,
Yes.
and one of my BFFs, who I kind of loved, but I loved you more,
I'd kill him.
was like, how the fuck dare you bang your husband on your own honeymoon?
Oh yeah, I'd be furious.
Be like, we just got married, you unfaithful. These hoes ain't loyal.
No,
These hoes ain't loyal.
I mean, you gotta make the marriage real.
Is that still like a law? Like
Yeah,
your
consummating
marriage isn't real until you the P and the V?
I believe in that law,
Daniel, shut up. We've been married for like ever.
and we partake
Daniel,
in that
na
law.
ba ba da ba.
So it says, in the context of marriage, consummation means the actualization of marriage is the first act of sexual intercourse after marriage between a husband and a wife. Consummation is particularly relevant under canon law, where failure to consummate a marriage is ground for divorce or an annulment.
See, you go to the church and you tell them that shit's not happening. They're gonna be like, "Yep."
How the fuck can they prove that though? Like, come on now. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. After the
It's all
wedding,
because of Henry V.
Well,
did you just pull that out of your ass?
What?
Why the fuck do you know rules of Henry V?
Because he
You know
pretty much
nothing
made the Catholic religion because he wanted all these women.
because he wanted to get a divorce, right?
Get a divorce and a bunch of other stuff. I'm hoping all this is right. Probably some history buffs like, he's wrong.
It was Henry VIII, you stupid son of a bitch.
Was there a Henry VIII?
I don't know. I'm really bad at history.
Pretty sure there was.
I'm really bad at history that in that regard. I like art history.
There's still Henrys going on. It's just like fucking Henry the 50th.
Anyway, I mean, probably one of the Cullens could tell us. After the wedding, Bella and Edward travel to Isle Esme for their honeymoon, and they make love for the first time.
How big do you think the mosquitoes were on this fucking island?
Enough that would make me not want to go there. 2 weeks later, Bella vomits after waking and notices that her period is late. She informs Carlisle, Edward's adoptive father, that she believes she is pregnant. Edward is distraught as it is highly unlikely a human will survive giving birth to a vampire's baby. Now, in our New Moon episode, which was a few weeks back, you made mention of like that's the one that had the most nudity in it.
Yeah.
This film now has, I would say, the most nudity.
But you don't
You
ever
see the top.
her.
You see the top of ass.
Do you see her ass?
You see the top of it.
Do you see a cheek? Do you see a
I
full
think
cheek,
I think you
half cheek,
see a
the
quarter.
slit of a butt cheek?
I think you see a quarter of the crack. Quarter crack.
That's nothing,
I mean, I'm just saying they have to keep into the PG-13 vibe.
I guess.
Apparently, though, so I don't remember if it was this movie or the next film, but wherever the sex scene was, they had to reshoot it because Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart were too fucking crazy during it. Like,
They're actually fucking?
no, like they were gyrating their hips way too much. Like I don't
Oh, they
know,
got a boner?
but like I don't I don't know. Like, would you think that they would be like, there's nobody really around, let's just pretend like we're really doing it, or like they're just like overacting because they think everybody thinks that this is how they fuck? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a little of both. They probably started out acting, and then I mean they were, like you said, they were actually fucking at the time, so they probably just got a little carried away with the dry humps. It was an Olympic sport back then.
Yeah, they already know the dance, man.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
true.
by the second one, she hated his guts. So,
Well, that's because she was banging the old guy behind the camera.
yep. But yeah, they had broken up a bunch of times, but got together by the time the press and the movie was releasing just to break up yet again.
Imagine finding out like you lost it to like that guy. And it's like, really? That's a better lay?
What?
Like the director, like he looked disgusting.
Okay, so you bring up a point that I think is interesting. I don't think it's the appearance of a person. I think it's literally the act of the fact that it's wrong.
It's
Because
definitely wrong, but at
let
the
me,
same time,
I
like,
have a perfect fucking example.
okay.
And I have said this to you multiple times. I actually said it to you recently because we watched a movie with her in it. Me and Daniel watched the remake of Bedazzled that stars Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley.
No wonder you asked me if I wanted to fuck Elizabeth Hurley.
I ask questions sometimes because who wouldn't? Elizabeth Hurley is literally, to this day, and I don't care what anybody says, one of the most beautiful women to walk this fucking planet.
I would have her in the A without a C and then J all over her B's.
I understand all of that. It's like, it's like,
You know what the best part is? Is that is a direct quote from a TV show you fucking hate.
what is it from fucking Always Sunny? It reminded me more of like that time that Michael gave Pam a bunch of hand signals and then he just repeated what he was like, Meredith's fan, 5 minutes. And she's like, he didn't have to say anything. Yeah.
I weirdly know exactly what you're saying to me.
So I see you in Meredith's van in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you didn't need to actually say it.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
So Elizabeth Hurley in the 90s dated Hugh Grant for years. They were together for years. They were like Hollywood's hottest couple. He was a handsome British man. He was in a bunch of rom-coms. Everybody loved him. This man got a blowjob from a woman of the night. She was not that attractive. I remember that she had a sizable gap in between her teeth, which is fine if you have a gap and you want to rock it. But it's like, what when your relationship is, at least from accounts, very solid and you do something like that, you're doing it not because you are like, overly attracted to a person. You're doing it because A, you're bored with, a person, which is horrible. B, you're too much of a coward to just be like, hey, I'm not feeling this anymore, and you want to move on. And C, because you're not supposed to do it. And people think that's so exciting. And that's really fucking lame. It all boils down to like a level of cowardice to me. So with Kristen Stewart, she's with Robert Pattinson, who is arguably, an attractive man in a sense. Like, got a strong jaw, whatever. He has square teeth, according to some. But whatever. So a lot of people find
Square
him.
teeth?
Yeah, Matt
He's
went
got
on
wooden teeth.
Yeah, Matt went on a tangent in the first episode, if you ever listened to our show, about his little chiclet teeth. I mean, Kristen and Robert are attractive human beings. They just are. It's, it's just no way other to cut it. They are cute, whatever. This director was like older, had a family. You do it because it's exciting, but also really fucking lame if you think that that's exciting. I could go on and on about it, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the tension of Breaking Dawn Part 2. So, Edward encourages Bella to receive an abortion from Carlisle. She refuses and convinces Edward's sister, Rosalie, to be her bodyguard. They fly back home to Forks, where Jacob rushes to the Cullens' house to find a pale, underweight, and visibly pregnant Bella. He implores her to terminate the pregnancy immediately, but Bella opts to continue it. Jacob storms out of the Cullens' residence and meets in the woods with his packmates. Sam believes the baby will not be able to control its cravings for human blood once it's born and suggests that they kill Bella to ensure her child does not harm anyone. Jacob refuses, and the ensuing argument prompts him and several other wolves to disperse from Sam's pack to form their own. As Bella's pregnancy progresses, her health declines rapidly. She soon realizes the baby is craving blood and begins drinking human blood obtained by Carlisle from the hospital, improving her health. As a half vampire, the fetus's development is far more accelerated than that of a human fetus, and thus Bella's pregnancy progresses at an alarming rate.
Could you do that for your kid?
Do what?
Drink human blood?
I did a lot for them when I was pregnant with them. I mean, why the fuck not? I literally got vomited on today by one of them because I love them and they wanted me to hold them.
But I don't think she wanted to get pregnant. That could have been an easy
Well,
out.
Here's the thing. I mean, I don't think they thought it was possible. I mean, they didn't think it was possible. So, because he's dead.
I get that, but then they're like, you know what could really make it possible? Drink this blood.
Oh, with the baby? I mean, that's just, that's just a weird fucking thing.
Just saying, that could have been her plan B.
I guess. I don't know. When Bella suddenly goes into labor, Edward, Jacob, and Rosalie begin performing an emergency cesarean section. They're not fun. While Carlisle is out obtaining blood, the procedure is excruciatingly painful and Bella falls unconscious, though she wakes to find she has delivered a healthy daughter whom she names Renesmee, a combination of her mother's name and Edward's mother's name. I wonder how many kids out there are named Renesmee. A good bit, I'm sure.
Probably a whole bunch.
Bella's heart suddenly stops and Jacob desperately attempts CPR. Edward interjects Bella's heart with his venom in an attempt to transform her into a vampire, but his action appears to be futile as Bella remains lifeless. A distraught Jacob decides to kill Renesmee, but apparently causing Bella's death. However, when they look into each other's eyes, he imprints on her, preventing his pack from killing her, as their most absolute law is not to harm anyone who has been imprinted on. So, over the course of 2 days, Bella's injuries heal and her figure returns to normal. Finally, her eyes become blood red, signifying that she has become a vampire. Oh, actually, I did not realize that this is a thing. In a post-credits scene, the Volturi secretary Bianca delivers a message from Carlisle, which summarizes Bella and Edward's wedding and Bella's transformation into a vampire. Aro has Bianca killed by Dimitri and Felix for misspelling Carlisle's name. The two other Volturi banter about how Carlisle is growing his coven and that the Volturi's dispute with the Cullens is over. However, Aro disagrees, saying they still have something he wants. I've seen that movie a handful of times. I've never seen that ending scene.
That's at the end.
I guess it's at the very end. Here's the thing, filmmakers. Stop putting shit at the fucking very end of your credits. Put it mid-credits. Put it right after the fucking, main people credits.
Or just keep it part of the fucking movie.
Or that too, like a fucking normal person used to. I hate that bullshit. Today, my daughter was sick, so I put on Moana for her. I took her upstairs so she can go take a nap. I come downstairs and the credits were rolling and I was cleaning up the toys. And all of a sudden there's a fucking end scene at the end of the credits for Moana, which is a Disney movie. And I'm like, I've seen this movie 100 times between the two of my kids. And I've never fucking seen that scene. You know why? Because once the credits roll, I roll. That's why I texted you, I think when we were watching Terrifier 2, and I was like, there's something. 5 minutes into the credits, and you're like, I'm glad you know my weakness. I'm like, yeah, I do. I fucking for sure do. Because it's mine too. Like, I hate that shit. All right. So that is the plot of Breaking Dawn. I kind of went through it super quick because these are not my favorite ones. I don't care for Breaking Dawn that much. It's the peak cringe, but I do have some notes in relation to the book. Not many. It's nothing like the first few films. So the first note that I have, I don't have many because I blasted through this book because it was painful reading this one again, and I will never read it again. Jacob is supposed to be 7 feet tall for some reason and has to like crouch and do all this other shit. Like, I don't understand why he's that tall, but okay. Alice gets crazy headaches because of Bella and the baby, so she hides from Bella. Just the constant shifting and all this other stuff, it causes Alice pain, which I thought was an odd additive.
She can't take medicine.
She's a vampire, but no. It would just stay in her. It wouldn't move. Like, so I think there's a part in the books where it's like, what happens if you eat and Edward takes a bite of food and he says it's going to be extremely uncomfortable for me to get that, like, move that later. Like, he has to regurgitate it in a way, but he does not have any like running fluid, or his organs don't move in his body. But here's the thing, and this is what I want to talk about. Hold on. This is what I want to talk about in this whole scenario of the fact that, you know, he
How do you get a boner?
exactly. If you don't have any flowing blood in your body, how are you getting diamond dick?
How are you ejaculating?
Exactly. And how is your semen alive? Like, super semen. Are you okay, Matt?
You just fucking blew my brain wide goddamn open.
Because you never thought about it, did you?
No.
Well, now we are. But like, that's the thing I don't get. Like, why is it that in these like vampire tropes, like, okay, so in vampire lore, there is some lore where the immoral child. But like, if you read or watched Interview with a Vampire, they can't do that. Like, they can have sex and all this other stuff, but nothing is like it. It's my favorite Matt joke. It's just nothing is happening.
Do
Like,
they ever get tired? Like, can they sweat?
no, they don't sweat. They don't get tired. They don't have to catch their breath. Nothing. But like in Interview with a Vampire, they change a child into a vampire so she has eternal youth, and like that is like a big like story plot because the girl ages and matures, but she's forever stuck in the body of a child. So like that's the thing that gets me, because it's like that is a big fucking plot hole here. Because the man doesn't have brainwaves. He doesn't have blood.
I mean, you kind of said it before. We're living in make-believe land.
Yeah, we
So
really are. But that's one thing that really, really annoys me about this whole storyline is the fact that even in death, a dude fucking is ruining lives with his seed. Just saying.
got super sperms.
My last note, Jacob and Rosalie get into a fight during the C-section actually. So like while all of that jazz is happening, Jacob like slams Rosalie into a wall because she goes to attack Bella because of all the blood. That's why there's a line in the movie where Rosalie goes, I can take her, Edward. I'm fine. I promise. Because before that, he had fucking slammed her into a wall, but they never put that in.
I'd be pissed getting a C-section.
How else is she getting that shit out?
Yeah, but it's not a clean. It's not going to be clean. Like, it's not going to be like a nice C-section like you get at a hospital. They're not going to take like.
It's a movie.
They just mess. They just mess
perfectly.
Does she?
Yeah, because when you turn into a vampire, your body fixes itself.
Right.
Oh my god, she's wearing a white bathing suit right now, and that would just never ever happen in life. Just no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that ever.
A white bathing suit?
Yeah, ever. You can see right the fuck through it.
I'm waiting.
Hey, baby.
I'll let you know in 2 seconds.
No, they're not going to show it here, but because she just stays in the water. So, do you guys have any comments on the Breaking Dawn that you wanted to?
Yeah, I remember the wedding scene, and then later on in life, everybody trying to recreate the benches outside and all that.
It did become a
that
big
became like
fad.
a big fad with the stuff and the trees. Those that tree with the white flower.
Oh, I don't know.
Everybody tried to have those trees and stuff for their weddings. I just remember like a bunch of fads coming from this movie in general due to like the stuff that they did and like the honeymoon and everything like that.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh my god, we're on our own island, Isle Esme.
I would be scared as shit if I'm on a fucking island by myself. Every fucking noise, I'd be like, "What the fuck is that?"
I don't think you're gonna be afraid if you're with your vampire, who is awake
But there's
24/7.
other vampires.
Yeah, but he's
So you're
awake.
isolated.
But he can read their thoughts.
So you still think he's gonna know that other people are rolling in?
Yeah, he can hear them coming. Like he can hear them within like a
What
few
about
miles.
the maids? Remember the maids are just like, "Oh shit,
Marte."
Like she just got plowed in the room. They're just standing there.
They're not just standing there watching. Like they're not doing that.
They're looking at the room like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, like
no
that's
wonder why she's got bruises all over her.
beating the shit out of
Looked
her.
like he threw her across the room with his dick.
That'd be impressive. I don't know. I just like these. This one is like
Shotgun.
this one is so. This one is so ridiculously corny to me. Like it makes the first two. I think that's why I like the first two so much better because it's just not as bad. Because it's like Bella is literally. I'm watching it right now, begging him to slip it in, and he's just like, I can't. But yeah, so he like Edward like tries to keep her so occupied during the honeymoon that like she's exhausted at the end of the day, and like that would be so annoying to me. I would be like, why the fuck are you taking me on a 12-mile hike on our honeymoon?
What does he do when she sleeps? Does he just lay there, or does he go and do other stuff?
When
Just stares at her.
well, especially on the honeymoon in the book that he noted that he stayed like close to her because it was so hot on the island, like his skin cooled her down so like it was comfortable. But like in
You're
her
a little refrigerator.
yeah, you're the opposite of a heater, you're a refrigerator. But like in her room, he just lays with her and just like listens to her sleep. I feel oh, God. Or he like sits and reads or something, you know. He lives his life.
Just in the corner beating it.
Just live your life.
Can't touch you.
Then that's just another that just broaches another question. Like, can they do that? I don't know. It's strange. It's a very strange. I don't like this purely because of the plot holes. I don't care that they're having sex at all, and the imprinting, fucking weird.
Especially that he did it on a child.
A baby. Oh my god, Matt, that reminds me. And I want you to live react to this. Hold on. So, have you ever heard about this might bleed into part 2, but that's okay. Have you ever heard about the controversy surrounding the Renesmee doll that they used while filming? Don't Google anything. Have you ever heard about this?
Maybe, but it would be through you, and that's really
And
about it.
I've never brought it up. Okay, so when they were filming these movies, they had to use a doll. Well, they started out using a doll in some scenes before they switched to CGI for baby Renesmee. Because spoiler alert, and this doesn't really give too much away to the next film, but Renesmee grows just as rapidly outside of the womb as she did inside of the womb. So I'm going to send you a picture. This was the doll that they were going to use in a film. And what was the budget of this film again?
$127 million.
Okay, so $127 million budget. And this was the doll that they were going to use in the film.
What the hell's wrong with this?
Oh, God.
Fucking huge forehead.
The doll is fucking atrocious. It doesn't even look like a human.
Because it's very much not. But
right, its eyes are like blue, real buggy.
So it's just a weird movie. I don't know. But that is the plot. I don't want to get into it much longer. I kind of just want to do questions of the damned so we can finish these things. So, questions of the damned. All right, Matthew. What song is played during the first kiss at the wedding? Christina Perri, 1,000 Years. Sia, My Love. Iron and Wine, Flightless Bird. Bon Iver, Rosalind.
Fuck. If it was Bon Iver, I probably would have recognized it. But I don't remember if that was that. What was the second one?
Sia, My Love.
what year this came out? 2011.
Mm-hmm.
You can make fun of me. I knew Iron and Wine were pretty popular back then, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Like, I think they were. Yeah.
Because that played during the end of the first film, so they recreated, their little dancing.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize that.
All right, Daniel.
Yeah.
Which actor cried after watching a first cut of the film? Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, Taylor Lautner, or Peter Facinelli, who plays Carlisle? Edward, Bella, Jacob, Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Damn it, that was gonna be my guess. Can you say him again, please?
It's the trio.
Oh, Kristen Stewart seems like the obvious answer.
Is that your answer?
No, I'm gonna go with old pectoral muscles, not wooden teeth.
Taylor Lautner cried after watching a first cut.
It was the juice.
All right, Matthew. What renowned director wanted to direct the first part of the final two films? Sofia Coppola, Wes Anderson, David Lynch, or Patty Jenkins?
The only name that I really recognize is Wes Anderson. Going with that one.
Coppola.
Oh shit! Did you really know that, or was that a good guess?
That would be my guess because he's
she.
Yeah, because yes, she is well known.
Well, they're all well known.
But
yeah,
that's in my
she directed The Virgin Suicides and Marie Antoinette. She was great. The movie probably would have looked amazing. Probably would have been better too. All right, Daniel.
Yeah.
How long did it take for Kristen Stewart to become the emaciated Bella in the makeup chair?
Ooh.
It was all CGI. 1 hour, 3 hours, or 5 hours?
3 hours.
Or is it 2 to 2?
2 to 2, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Last question, Matt. Before we go, you could either win, lose, or tie. What are the color of the chess pieces on Edward and Bella's chessboard on their honeymoon? Black and white, red and white, brown and white, or clear and white?
Red and white?
Fuck.
You realize that we can only tie this season. If I don't win the next one, you win.
Oh God.
Pressure.
Ding, 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 ding. Beautiful. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. It really warms this cold, cold heart that you guys are getting so competitive over the Twilights. The silence says enough.
Team member.
I mean, is there any other? So real quick, I mentioned in the first episode, when we covered Twilight, that I had a friend who was reading this book feverishly and got real pissed off, really upset. And this is because in the book, and I just remember this and then we'll sign off. We were all waiting in Breaking Dawn to finally read that Bella and Edward, had sex, because it's just like constant teasing for 3 books at this point. Just, heavy kissing and panting and blah, blah, blah. And a 17-year-old, you're like, just fucking do it. And literally, she writes about them being in the water, and then you go to the next page, waiting to, get what you've desired. And it literally, just like in the movie, Bella wakes up covered in bruises with nothing. The girl in my class slammed the book shut and threw it. She was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, so I wanted to end it on that note.
All that heavy petting to nothing.
Yeah, like you got nothing in that book. You got more in the movie, but you got nothing in the book, at least at that part. So on that note, you horny bastards, that is Breaking Dawn Part 1. The next episode will be Breaking Dawn Part 2 and the end of the Twilight Saga season. It's been a long time in the making, not really. And I'm very excited. I'm excited to finish this out with you guys.
I'm just excited for it to be over.
Oh, whatever. You're such a Debbie Downer.
I know.
Before we sign off, we have to do yay, nay, or slay. Actually, I forgot. This one's like a nay for me because I really don't like how Breaking Dawn was filmed. It's just meh. Daniel?
This is a nay.
The nays take it.
Go nays. Yeah, it's just it's cringy, it's corny. You could tell that they are over it by now, and they're there because they're contractually obligated and they're making a boatload of money. But anyway, yeah, so thanks for joining us on this installment. I am very excited to see you guys on the next one. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Go Team Albert.
What is it?
How many days has it been since the wedding?
14, what? Can you tell me what's going on?
I'm late. My period's late.